All right, how y'all doing? It's almost Christmas time, so Merry Christmas to everybody. Uh, Still got to steady share these stories for the podcast to introduce everybody to the podcast. I'm still working on it. Actually established a channel on Spotify. If y'all want to go look it up, that's cool. The story I'm finna share today, though, it's about perseverance, greatness, incidentally, how you can make it without thinking you might be able to make it. So check this out. I was staying in Chicago after I graduated high school. It was like June. I'm gonna make this kind of short. I'm gonna shorten this story up. It's actually a little longer story, but I'm gonna give a shorter version of it. But anyway, me and some of the guys, we was on 71st and Jeffrey. We was over there kicking it or some shit. I was finna go fuck with somebody over there, but before that, the guys decided they wanted to go to the liquor store before the liquor store closed. I was the only motherfucker over there with a car. So a car that actually worked. So we incidentally ended up going to the liquor store on 79th, right off Stony Island. It's closed down now. But it used to be like on the same side of the street as that building where some people used to have meetings at back in the day. I ain't gonna say no names. But we was at the liquor store. We was sitting in the liquor store and shit. And I was telling one of the guys, I was like, look, bro, there's some motherfuckers out here. They keep watching. They keep peeping gang shit. Cause I'm letting them buy the liquor. Obviously, I wasn't old enough to buy the liquor at the time. And I'm like, look, it was like a nigga and a bitch. They wasn't even inside the store, but when we came in, they had walked out and they just kept looking and shit. I'm like, man, why they keep looking at us? So I told them, you feel me? It might be, you on 79th Street. First of all, I don't know if y'all from Chicago, if y'all ever been in Chicago, if you ever been on 79th Street, but you need to be watching your back. 79th Street, anywhere in Chicago in general, you need to be watching your back. But 79th Street is definitely one of them places you need to be watching your surroundings, for sure. But yeah, we leave out the liquor store and old dude walk off. I'm thinking he trying to do some snake shit, but he just walked off like a couple feet. Old girl walk up to me and she asked me, she like, hey, what's your name? It's like, Trouble, why? What's up? Who is you? She like, oh no, it wasn't nothing like that. I just thought you was cute. I thought you was handsome. Like I just wanted to see if I can get your number. I'm like, hell yeah, you can get my number. It was like a little light-skinned chick, some little light-skinned chick from 79. Forgot her name. Never even talked to her. But we end up getting in the car. But before we get in the car, I seen the motherfucking police pull down 79th and they was staring at me and shit. I'm like, man, the police staring at me and shit, what's going on? And we get in the car, police done did a U-turn. They did a U-turn, like they went down like by the Maxwell's, did a U-turn and pulled up behind us before I got a chance to pull off. I didn't really even want to pull off because I thought they was on some bullshit anyway. Anyway, they pulled up to the car. They came up to the car. They was like, hey, can you get out the car? Step out the car. I was like, for what? They was like, man, I just need you to step out the car. And like a young dummy, I stepped my ass out the car. When I get out the car, they ain't asked me for no license, insurance, registration, nothing. They just said, step out the car, and I stepped out the car. In general, I do know that if you cooperate with the police, usually that whatever they trying to do is going to be all right because, the police ain't really there to fuck you over in general. But yeah, so I step out the car. The other guys, they step out the car. It was three of us. We all step out the car. Then they end up searching the car. They found a gun in the car. It's crazy. They found a gun in the car. They end up calling for bag up. And then like 8 other cars pulled up and surrounded the car. And I'm like, damn, all over one motherfucking gun. But yeah, that's what they did. Then they took us to the police station on 103rd. I think the police station on 103rd and Luella or 103rd. And it's on the east side, 103rd and something. Anyway, I think it's Luella. But they took us to the police station. They was like, look, you can, we found a gun in your car. You can just tell us it was one of the guys that's that was in the car with you, you can tell us it was one of their guns. And shit, we'll let you go. We'll let you, you keep your car. We'll let you, because we finna tow your car. I was like, damn, y'all finna tow my car? That's my first car. He was like, yeah, we finna tow that motherfucker. You ain't supposed to have no illegal guns up in there. I was like, what? All right, well, whatever. So what y'all finna do? I mean, like, what's going on? They're like, well, if don't nobody want to fess up to the gun, we're gonna charge all three of y'all with the gun. Like, man, that sounds like some bullshit. I done heard a lot of bullshit before. But that definitely sounds like some bullshit. How you gonna charge three people with one gun? How can three people have one gun? That shit don't make sense. Anyway, they was like, look, just they was really trying to get me to acknowledge that I knew it was a gun in the car, and I really didn't believe that they found a gun in the car, right? So they motherfucking they was like, no, here go the gun right here. So they brought the gun in a little bag and shit. They was like, yeah, here go the gun right here. I was like, huh? And I ain't never seen no gun. That's crazy. Y'all found that in my car? He was like, yeah, then one of the guys get in with a gun or something or blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, why y'all originally stopped me is because y'all said, y'all got a call that was he had on all black, and then I fit the description though. So that's why y'all stopped me. So obviously, I ain't them guys ain't having no all black, you know what I'm saying? So now what's interesting about this situation is when they came in the room, if you start talking to people about any kind of crimes that you think they might have committed or what they might commit or whatever happened, you supposed to read them their rights first. Incidentally, you were supposed to read them their rights. But they didn't. And I knew that was the first mistake. So while they was sitting there talking to me, I was like, look, y'all finna lock me up for this gun anyway. Because, possession is 9/10 of the law. So let's say y'all found that gun in my car, don't nobody fess up to it, y'all finna lock me up for that motherfucker anyway. Let's start there. Secondly, one of the officers, he told me, he was like, look, just tell us it was one of their guns and I'll let you go. I was like, I can't tell you if it was one of their guns and I ain't see them with no damn gun. Anyway, make the longer story short, they end up letting them go, end up locking me up. They charged me with a misdemeanor gun charge. I ended up going to court the next day on the 111th. They end up sending me to the county with a $300 bond. It's a long ass process to get into Cook County. I don't know if y'all ever been, but it is a long ass process. It's way shorter now, but it used to be a much longer process. I haven't been there in a long ass time though, so I don't know. Being that as it may, when I get to the county, somebody come pay my bond, I get out. When I go back to the block, it was like, oh man, we thought you was gonna tell on us. We thought you was gonna tell, and it's like, what? Tell what? What was I supposed to tell on y'all? Yeah, it wasn't your gun anyway. What the fuck is you? So, I mean, y'all don't think I was just gonna try to like put the gun off on y'all or some shit. Like, hell yeah, other niggas done did it before. Other niggas done, hell yeah, you get caught up in the situation, shit, just tell on them and shit, get your ass up out of there. I was like, but it wasn't even neither one of y'all gun. It's my gun. It was my gun. What you tell? I take the rap for my shit. Anyway, we ended up popping a couple bottles and shit. I left. I had ended up having to go to court a couple weeks later, and the judge said, "Oh yeah, you ain't got no lawyer. Can you go get a lawyer?" So when I came back 2 weeks later, it gave me like a 2-week continuance. When I came back, I had didn't have a lawyer still. But I wasn't really too worried about it because I'm thinking like the public defender gonna have to take up the case anyway. And it's a beatable ass case because first of all, they never should have searched my car without permission. Secondly, they never should have been asking me questions about anything without reading me my rights first. They did a bunch of different violations. And they never asked for no ID, no license, no insurance. They never, and that's some shit you're supposed to ask for if you actually doing some kind of traffic stop or doing some kind of investigation or some shit like that. But anyway, that ain't even the point. For the charge, when I went back to court, ended up talking to one of the lawyers from the Chicago Bar Association. And He said he just wanted the bond money. He was like, oh yeah, they did commit some heinous acts that they shouldn't have did. They didn't follow procedure and they didn't do this and they didn't do that. But if you want me to take this case to trial, I'm gonna need $2,000. I was like, huh? Man, I can take this case to trial myself. This ain't no, he was like, yeah, but if I gotta file this motion and I gotta do this, and I'm like, man, I ain't finna pay you no damn $2,000. Look, take this bond money, go up in there and give me some like supervision or some shit. Like I ain't got a report. Go get, I plead guilty to it. Cause it was my gun. He's like, all right, well, I go see. He come back, he like, no, they want a year probation. He's like, I ain't finna do no motherfucking year probation. What probation? I'm not finna do no year probation. So he come back, and he like, well, they saying they'll do 6 months now. I said, probation just don't sound too good to me, but okay, 6 months, misdemeanor probation, what I gotta do? I'm like, well, it ain't gonna be, he started explaining the stipulations and shit to me, and I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it. I just don't wanna have to come back to this courtroom again. And so we got that shit settled. Then I decided I still wanted to go to college, because before then I didn't think I was finna go to college. I never thought I was finna go to college. I never thought I was finna leave Chicago. You feel me? Because it was some shit that happened. I ain't gonna speak too much on it, but it was some shit that happened. And I just didn't think I was gonna leave. I thought I was gonna stay. I never planned on going to college anyway. That was never really part of my plans to go away and go to college. So this shit happened at the spur of the moment. I called one of the advisors, and he was like, yeah, just go online, use the information I sent you, go on there and check your grants and loans and scholarships, check that. Press OK here, and there, and then you're gonna be signed up for it. So that's what I did. Went on there, signed up for it, accepted all the documents and stuff like that. And then he like, well, the only next thing you got to do is come down here. And I ain't had no money. So I'm like, shit, I ain't got no money. I just lost my car. How the hell I'm finna be able to get down to school? How the hell I'm finna be able to get down here with some money at least? And I didn't know, but I figured it out. So I think that's one of the best things I can tell people, is to always be able to figure shit out, be resourceful, if one thing don't work, try something else. If that don't work, and if you fuck up, try something else. The point is to never stop trying, because the only thing that's gonna guarantee that you gonna fail in life is whenever you stop trying. So don't ever stop trying. Don't ever give up,